Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. I'd love to bring on my friend with the Cornerstone Business Academy, the one and only Charles Alvarez, and cornerstonebusinessacademy.com. Great place to look to get more information about what he does. But what he does is he takes companies, and if they're great companies, he makes them even better. And if they're companies that are struggling, he turns them around with his consulting and coaching and sales and marketing. He does a phenomenal job, and I know from firsthand experience how good he is. And Charles, welcome to the program. Tell us a little more about your firm, and then introduce our guest today.
Well, what we do is we work with business owners to basically deliver the freedom that they've been looking for because of the first reason they got into business, which is really systematizing, kind of like what you said, Kevin, which is systematizing their sales, marketing, and back office so that they can grow their business and scale the business without having those obstacles that are keeping them in the way. And and speaking of removing obstacles, one guy who makes some phenomenal floors and really removes the uncomfort that people may have in hiring a really great floor contractor. I have Greg Schenk with me. Greg, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Greg, real quickly, kind of tell us a little bit about your company. Give us an overview real quickly.
Well, Schenk & Company is an old-fashioned hardwood flooring company. We create exceptional wood floors while focusing on customer satisfaction and service.
Very good. Go ahead there with your first question, Charles.
So, Greg, one of the misconceptions, that a lot of people have when it comes to doing what you do is like, what is the difference between one flooring company and another flooring company? So kind of tell us what makes you different and why should they choose you versus all the other Yahoos out there?
Well, it starts at our core business model, Charles. We do not subcontract any of our work, and a lot of people tell me that, I'm a dinosaur because of that. But we have our own employees that only work for us doing this, and a lot of our guys have 25 to 30 years, guys that are out there in the field doing the work, supervising, and you just can't, no other company has that level of tenure or quality, and I know who's going to be in somebody's home. I don't have to micromanage. Everybody knows their job, and it's a very smooth operation.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about the size and the history of the company.
We're about 30 employees now. At one point during the peak, we got up to around 50. I started the company in 1982. And one of the original guys that we had is still here as a supervisor.
Very cool. Go ahead, Charles.
So, Greg, you mentioned that one of the things your company doesn't do, which I know is a huge differentiator, is the fact that you don't hire subcontractors. So, if I'm a residential homeowner and I want to refurbish my house or build a house, what are the risks that I am taking by hiring a company that actually does use subcontractors?
Well, there's inherently a disconnect, and if it's a true subcontractor, the hiring contractor has very little control. You cannot say what hours you're going to be there, and there's I hear the excuse a lot. Well, that's the best the sub could do, or he's on to another job or whatever. They're all excuses, in my opinion. We have a passion for what we do, and this is not a job. It's our passion. It's our career. And so we do it to the very best, and we stick with it till the end. So you're not going to find that in a sub. A sub, he's tied into a dollar figure, and he's doing his very best to get in and out as quick as possible in order to maximize the amount of money he makes on that project.
Yeah, and I would assume from, people I know, friends and family who are actually in this industry, that's kind of unusual. Your approach is kind of unusual, isn't it?
It's very unusual, and again, everybody tells me I'm a dinosaur, and the other thing that I didn't mention is for years we didn't hire anybody with any experience. So when we first started, I knew nothing about wood floors. I knew nothing about running a business. I had this desire to have my own business, and I wanted to be the best at whatever we were doing. So when I bought this little struggling partnership and reformed it, I knew we wanted to be the best, so I inherited one Finnish helper who is now over all of our finishers. And for years, we wiped the slate clean and said, okay, what's the best way to do wood floors? Well, it took us years to figure it out. But as we grew, we didn't want anybody that had preconceived notions or, bad habits that would say, well, I've done this for years and this is the way I'm going to do it. Well, no, this is our way, and if you want to be part of our team, this is the way we do it. So we look for the right person, and I figured that if you find the right person, you can teach them how to do wood floors. You can't teach somebody how to be a good person and work ethic and all of that.
Yeah, we're fixing to have to wrap it up. I want to make sure we get your website real quick, and then I'm going to let Charles have some final thoughts.
My website is schenkandcompany.com, schenkandcompany.com.
Thank you so much. Go ahead, Charles.
Greg, you made a great point there that I just want to, I can't highlight enough, which is a lot of people don't think about who's in their house. And, having somebody that you like, that you trust, with my 11-year-old daughter at home, that is a big, big deal. So I really appreciate the fact that you mentioned that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for being with us.
You bet.
All right. Do you want to remind you, best content here shows up over there at usdailyreview.com. And you're listening to The Price of Business.